Welcome to Passionate Mark
Podcast.
Wouldn't it be super cool if we could get a machine or some intelligence like AI, and then every time you got sick, or if you hurt yourself somewhat, or you cut yourself, and then after just using this machine, maybe a day or two, or maybe sometimes even quicker, but sometimes maybe because if it's a bigger injury, maybe you would use it every day for a month, and it would just magically heal you so you wouldn't have any pain. Wouldn't you love to have that machine just fix you? Well, an intelligent AI pill you just swallow and just heals whatever it is that you have issues with. But I have news for you. And if you're smart enough, you already figured it out. This machine we already have, and it's called, hang on, the body. This is the machine that works just like that. It's also called the immune system in the body. So most people who functions normally, they actually have this feature built in their operating system of the body. How amazing is that? It will, when you cut yourself, stop bleeding at some point and heal yourself. You can get sick from some bacteria, and within a few days using this technology, you can heal yourself. And then sometimes we get sick from something and, it's not deadly, but if you change your diet into something healthy or stop eating by fasting, you actually heal yourself. That is how intelligent your body is. So when people say to me, I wish there was just this pill you can eat and then you get healthy. This is what the pharmaceutical industry literally exists on, that they can sell you a pill pretending that it's not your body doing the magic, but it's the pill. And wait a minute, well, sure, there's some good drugs out there once in a while that can help you heal. But usually these drugs come with a side effect, adverse effect, and sometimes, most of the times, this adverse effect or side effect can be so bad that it's gonna hurt you, not now, but eventually later. So let's take antibiotics as an example. And if you take amoxicillin, you can take this now, and it probably will remove some of your issues and kill off the bacteria that made you sick. But on its way, it's also going to kill other bacteria. And you would say, isn't it good not to have bacteria in you? Actually not. You have a microbiome, if you ever heard this before. It's everywhere in your body, especially also in your gut and in your bowels. These microbiomes is a huge part of your immune system. Actually, some of this microbiome is the cause of breaking down the food that you eat and converting it to energy. Also, part of these bacteria is to kill off the harmful bacteria when it hits your stomach acid. A bad bacteria can then, because of the microbiome, be killed. In many ways, actually, bacteria in your body and in your gut and in a lot of places all over your body, on your skin even, most of these bacteria is actually good bacteria. And yes, sometimes the good bacteria can be placed in a new place, and it's no longer a good bacteria because the new place or whatever, where you put it, could be, let's say you got some bacteria from your poop into your wound. This will then make your wound either swollen or have more, histamine, and create inflammation, and even go like really bad inflammation, and you get infected. But you would say, oh, it's because the bad bacteria did all this to me. No, actually, it's your immune system that did that. So when you have a scratchy throat, it's not the bad bacteria necessarily annoying your throat, because that bad bacteria can have been there for a few days. But now your body is fighting back. That creates pain in your body. that creates soreness, that takes up a lot of energy, and that makes you tired. And that's why also, maybe you understand it this way. When you eat something, sometimes depending on what you eat, let's say it's bread, sometimes makes you super energized because bread just converts to glucose, like sugar in your body. And it breaks down to sugar, and then your body starts burning that sugar. And when it can't burn that sugar, it turns it into fat, and then it stores the fat in you. And that's like a normal reaction to it. But sometimes when you eat this bread, you get tired. And why do you get tired? Because your blood sugar spikes a lot, and then your insulin spikes. And this is all that I learned from doing a lot of research, so I might be mistaken sometimes, but I get the gist of it is something like this. And when your insulin spikes, eventually it can't spike anymore and it goes down. And that's when you start getting hungry, or you get cravings, you want more sugar. And that's the whole issue when people go to restaurants or anything else. You get tired because that creates an inflammation in your body. And it makes your body work a lot on that food, especially if it takes a lot of effort to break down. Let's say it's like really a lot of fiber as well, can also sometimes really make you tired because all the blood goes to your stomach and your bowels, and your digestion really kicks in, and that makes you tired. So in many ways, when people go to restaurants, they put bread on the table, ask you to have some bread in the beginning of the course. This is a super clever marketing tip. It will actually spike your blood sugar and make you want to eat even more. So when you actually get your starters and your main dish, you will probably statistically ask for either dessert or coffee, because you will get tired in the end, because you just had a spike in your blood sugar that led to a spike in your insulin level and then made you tired when that dropped, because that's a natural reaction to that. So when you understand this, you would then choose not to eat bread or sugar or any kind of food that breaks carbohydrates or starch or sugar that breaks down to glucose in your body. And I think that's glycogen and glucose. So these two things is somewhat what I understand the body uses. So this is so interesting. If you know all this, you can just start eating protein instead. And if protein with fat, you will stop getting hungry after. You will actually eat it and stay full for much longer during the day. So I find all these things so interesting, that the body heals us. Inflammation is a normal part of your body's reaction to anything, especially, not to anything, but especially those things are tough for the body. So let's say you go to the gym, you work your muscles and you lift weights, and then the next day you're sore because you actually broke the fibers of your muscles, and creates inflammation in the muscle. While it try to rebuild itself and expand the muscle, giving you more muscle mass, then you will have inflammation in body because of that. That's why people tell you to, if you go to the gym, I'll tell you, but other people might tell you too, if you're sick, don't go for a run. Go to the fitness, don't go to the gym. It's not only because you want to stay away from spreading whatever you have to other people, but if their immune system is great, if they had the virus or the bacteria before, they won't get sick anyways. So, but let's say you went to the gym anyways and you worked out. You already are sick. So your inflammation is high in your body. And that's why you want to eat like supplements or foods that are really healthy for you, that has a lot of vitamins and minerals that boost your immune system. It could be omega-3, it could be D vitamin, it could be zinc, which is all really good to have when you're sick. It could be something like berberine. It could be something like turmeric that has curcumin in it. It could be something like nattokinase, I think might have some benefits. I'm not sure actually, but also berberine, if I didn't mention that either. All these things have, or it could also be oranges because it has a high level of C vitamin. But you know that blueberries have even higher based on kilogram, it has a higher amount of C vitamins. And actually, red bell peppers have a really high amount of C vitamin as well. So all these things you can eat and it will help your immune system. And when you help your immune system, you're less likely to stay sick for long or less likely to get sick again. So if you get these things very often, you eat healthy foods and you get all your nutrient-dense food like meat, red meat, let's say not just only red meat, but let's say organic, grass-fed red meat has shown to give people more benefits in their health. And again, organic eggs really has shown to have pretty much all the nutrients and vitamins you need. If you eat like between maybe 3 eggs, I would say, I'm just rounding it up, or what do you call it? I'm guessing that one could be beneficial. But the only thing that is not in eggs is C vitamin. So now if you have red bell peppers and eggs, you can get that. And you know what you can do if you really want to know what's in food? You can go to an AI like ChatGPT as an example, and you can write into ChatGPT what vitamins and minerals are in this food, whatever food you want, and how much of that food do I need to have sufficient amounts of either this vitamin or that mineral. And then you can understand what you can eat throughout the day. You can literally put in everything and say, how much should I eat of this and this to get a full spectrum of vitamins and minerals. And again, just understanding that organic usually has better compounds and better non-GMO compounds in it. So it's a very good idea to eat organic. And also you won't get glyphosate, which is a pesticide. You might know it as Roundup. If you get that in your body, you will just discover all kinds of illnesses. Look up glyphosate and the side effects of that. It literally ruins your body. And that's in most corn and tomatoes and vegetables that are non-organic. So that's why I say ditch everything that's not organic, and you will eventually, within a year or two, whatever issue you have, you might actually have a much better chance of getting rid of it because you don't need all that crappy, highly processed food. So that's the beginning of a whole new chapter for me, just digging into all these things. The new chapter I started around when I was probably 15. And I got ill from various viruses, diseases, and a side effect to a vaccine. The flu vaccine wasn't meant to be given to kids. And there's actually 3 or 4 of them, flu vaccines, so they're all different. I got all of them because I'm a son of a doctor. And so it created a lot of side effects. Nobody would recognize it back then. It took me a long time to figure out all my food allergies, all my nickel allergies, milk allergy, pollen allergy, dust allergy. All these things came from that. And then it also came from mold toxicity, because I was living on a boarding school called Herlufsholm in Denmark. That's a really well-known boarding school that's actually in the press as we speak, because of a lot of issues that they had down there, and also the press really loved to get on their backs about it. But it actually, one of the walls down there had serious mold. It hadn't dug out any sewers from when rainwater came in, and it ran down in the wall, and I was living right in front of that wall. And the 3 people that were living next to that wall all had skin issues, and I was one of them. Psoriasis I got from that, but it was a combination of vaccines and toxic mold. And toxic mold gave me asthma and lung issues and allergies towards dust. And that's just, if you have mold, black mold anywhere, just move out the house. It's not worth it. You can fight it for 10 years or even more sometimes. It is not going away. You will have a high sensitivity to mold, and it's going to affect you the rest of your life. So don't challenge it. It's not worth it. You wished you just moved into a hotel or any other place that didn't have mold. If you live at a place that has it, just move out. get it fixed before you even move in, and understand that mold spreads crazy and will just live in you for so long. If you ever had an antibiotic, I talked about it earlier, the azithromycin that I can't pronounce, but it sounded a little bit better now. That actually, also known as Citromax, that actually kills some of your gut lining and some of the good bacteria in your gut that you need. I recently found out you can build it back by making your own yogurts. And how I do that, if you can eat milk, I don't know if you can, I can't, but you could take some raw milk or half and half milk, so it's like a lot of fat, and some normal milk. Hopefully you get some raw milk instead of the pasteurized milk, but you will actually pasteurize some of it yourself anyway, so it's going to be heated up a little bit, and you're going to put some bacterial strands that called lactobacillus, or L, they short it as L, and then Reuteri, Reuteri, I think. This bacteria strand is actually known or have been found in a lot of animals and a lot of humans that has never taken any antibiotics. So this bacteria is very beneficial for the stomach and for your immune system. And I've heard a lot of people losing weight, lowering inflammation. So probiotics is also a wonderful thing to take as a supplement if you have any kind of health issues, as I talked about before. I am making this yogurt from coconut milk. So my process is a little bit different. You have to look it up. You have to have, I think it's called nilin, or it's a fiber you put in. I'm going to put the recipe at some point in the description of this podcast. But this bacteria it's a powder. You put it in the milk. It can't be too hot. It has to be around 30 degrees. So don't put it in if it's 42 degrees or higher. It's just going to kill the bacteria. But you put it in when it's around 30 degrees. So get a thermometer and put it in, put the bacteria in, and then put the fiber in, about a spoonful of fiber, about 5 or 6 pills of L. Reuteri. You can even look it up on YouTube. That's an even better version. Go on YouTube, search for yogurt with L. Reuteri, and follow the recipe. This can literally fix a lot of your gut issues. And if you have a yogurt maker, you can use that, but make sure you have a thermometer so you can measure if that machine, actually the yogurt maker, because some of them are really crappy how the temperature is measured. Mine measured, I put it on 37 degrees, which is the perfect degrees to put it on for 36 hours at 37 degrees. If you have a thermometer, you put it in that machine and make sure the temperature is perfect. So that's just a little life hack I wanted to give you. And a lot of people actually have parasites, and parasites can hide in your body very well. Actually, I think the estimate is around 80% of everyone on Earth has parasites. It's literally that normal to have parasites. But eventually, leftovers from parasites, or even the parasites themselves, can actually eat some of your liver or organs or other things. They can even live in your eyes. They can live in your blood, in your bowels. There's so many different ones. That's why one of the medications that I praise is ivermectin. Ivermectin is something that you get at your doctor if you ever had scabies or issues with your skin or other kind of immune issues. Ivermectin is probably something that you've been given. It's 70-year-old medicine, and it's actually got a Nobel Prize for its safety profile once. And it kills off some of the parasites you can get, not all of them. There's like smaller ones and bigger ones. And I think it's the mid-range of parasites it can kill off. And it actually paralyzes their nervous system, I think. So it can't move and eventually will die off because it can't eat and such. So what I did, I took a protocol of 12 milligrams of ivermectin, and I took one pill every day, 5 days, and I waited 5 to 10 days, and I did it again. I heard other people just taking one, waiting 5 to 7 days, taking one more, and doing that on and on. I even heard people doing anti-cancer with it, and that they took it for 30 days and then had a break. There's some studies going on at the moment that might show that it can affect or lower risk of cancer, or maybe not risk, but lowering cancer issues. But I guess, again, it depends on what type of cancer. So, by the way, I'm not recommending anything in this podcast. I'm just saying what I would do. And everything I mentioned up till now is just for your information. And because I find it very interesting. So I am not educated to be a doctor or anything. So all I've done is that I read way more books about nutrition than most doctors in modern medicine have ever done. I'm sure there's doctors out there that's much smarter and actually read nutrition and it's just how the body works. But I wonder why doctors don't read nutrition, because it's one of the most interesting things, because food is your medicine. Food is a natural way to balance your medicine and balance how you function. But not a lot of doctors know this, and not a lot of doctors have the basic knowledge of how food works. But riddle me this, if you get sick and you need to take a pill, where do they put that pill? In the same tract in your mouth, which is your intestines. You will eat it just like you will eat food, because they know that's how you absorb medicine. So why wouldn't food be the exact same? I'm stating that, in my opinion, food is your medicine, and you can actually get really far with herbs and natural remedies, fruits, veg, meat, all these things, even things you can drink. Just by eating things, you can actually eliminate a lot of diseases, inflammation, all these things. This is very well documented, so it's not a new idea or anything. It's actually the oldest idea in the book, because we have survived for around 300,000 years as Homo sapiens without modern medicine. Modern medicine only existed for 200 years. Sure, there's some good things about modern medicine, but what I like the most is doctors educated in surgery, or they have knowledge about other than just medicines, because that would be much more beneficial if you fall and break your leg. That's where a doctor is a complete hero for being able to save you if you break something or you're really hurt or whatever. Again, I just wanted to give you some tools. I'm super passionate. You're listening to the podcast here, Passionate Mark. And today I dug into a lot about health, and I just wanted to give you some of my insights on what I think and what I feel. If you think that some of this podcast is interesting, you would find my Instagram way more interesting. And if you go to Instagram.com/Mark Bonner, you will find that I'm sharing a lot about this knowledge every single day. And I've gained 50,000 followers soon enough. Right now it's on 45,000 as we speak. So I hope this was some kind of inspiration to you. And taking charge of your own health. Now we know that Trump just installed Robert Kennedy Jr. as, I find it very interesting, because a lot of his talking points is actually stuff that I've been researching for years. And it's fun to see that he came through with some of the same research that I've read. And I've even been inspired to read some research based on what he shared and the research that he shared. A lot of this is actually peer-reviewed science. It's well documented. Some of it is evidence-based science. And I love that we just get smarter every day. But also, so important to mention that if you ever have the gut feeling that something is off and you probably shouldn't eat that medicine, or you probably shouldn't eat that food, please listen to it. If it's based on fear only, then it's not your intuition. If it's based on, I wonder if this food will actually be good for me, I probably should research it. I urge you to do that. Today we have so many tools to do this. You can ask people like me, and maybe I know something. You can ask your doctor. You can ask people that know a lot about nutrition. You can ask a health expert, or like holistic experts. And you can even ask ChatGPT or Google or whatever. So there's no excuse anymore to do something just blindly because someone else told you to. Dig into it, research it, take responsibility for your own health. You only have this life. You only have this body you're in. And understand that meditation and breath work, just relaxation and sports, and just eating healthy, getting fresh air, getting exercise in general, All these things are immune boosting and wonderful things to do and implement in your life. Even journaling has shown some efforts in actually making people happier. And even eating some spices have shown that can actually make people happier. I find a really great study of saffron. Eating saffron daily in very small amounts have shown to have some of the same benefits as eating antidepressants that you would be prescribed by a doctor. But the antidepressants will have a lot of side effects, whereas saffron doesn't. Also, a lot of nice studies about that. Anyways, if you love digging into all this health stuff, I know Joe Rogan has a lot of podcasts out there that is also trying to inspire people to become healthier and take responsibility for your own health. Even cold showers is super beneficial. Sitting in ice baths as well. These things are definitely something to read up upon. And if you like going to YouTube once in a while to check up things, I urge you to go check out Dr. Eric Berg and Huberman Lab. These are some of the people that I follow as well. And there's so many more. And if you like this podcast, let me know on Instagram if you enjoyed this Passionate Mark episode about health, about nutrition, about the amazing healing capabilities of our body. I would love to share more of this. So please let me know in the comments, or even better, send me a DM on Instagram and tell me how you've thought about this podcast. And if any of these advice or ideas help you in any way, I would love to hear from you. Again, thank you so much for listening to Passionate Mark. My name is Mark Barner. And again, you'll find me on Instagram or on markbarner.com. I'm actually beginning selling some of my favorite supplements on my website soon enough. I'll launch it soon. You can even book a coaching session with me if you want to dig into your health, you want to dig into your spirituality. I'll even do a full-on reading for you in a one-to-one session. You can also book me for 30 days at a challenge where we will move into your self-development mode and just boost your health, your immune system as well, and your mental balance as well as your spirituality. I use my special gift as a psychic reader. It's called clairvoyance, and I can see your future and your future benefits and potentials you can get through doing different type of practices like prayer, mantras, and other things. But there's so much to unpack here. So you can go on markbarner.com/booking if you want to book me as a coach, or you can just go to markbarner/blog if you want to read more about health benefits and things you can do. And if you just want to see what I'm about and all my crazy projects of an ADHD person that turned it into be a superhero power, then go to just markbarner.com. I'd love to see you on one of those platforms. Do reach out. Stay healthy and take responsibility to become healthier. Let's get healthier together.
Passionate Mark.